Deep beneath the surface of the earth, hidden from the sun and sky, there exists a world unseen by most of humanity. It is a realm sculpted not by hands, but by the patient, relentless work of water on rock over countless eons. Here, time itself seems to slow down, measured in the geological heartbeat of the planet. It is a world of absolute darkness, a blackness so complete it feels tangible, a physical presence that absorbs the most powerful lights. And profound silence, broken only by the rhythmic sound of a diver's own breathing, a constant, intimate reminder of their fragile connection to life. This is a labyrinth of submerged passages, a complex network of tunnels and chambers carved out of ancient limestone over millennia. These underwater caves are some of the last truly unexplored frontiers on our planet, holding geological and biological secrets yet to be discovered. They beckon to a unique and fearless breed of explorer, individuals driven by a desire to chart the unknown. Within these depths lies breathtaking beauty, subterranean cathedrals adorned with formations that defy imagination. But this beauty is guarded by immense danger. Every turn can present a new, life-threatening challenge. Here, the line between discovery and disaster is as thin as the guideline, the diver's single most critical piece of equipment. This simple nylon cord is the only guaranteed path back to the surface. It is the lifeline that leads a diver back through the maze, back to the world of light and air. Losing the line means losing your way, a fatal error in a place with no other landmarks. The reward for accepting such risk is access to unparalleled vistas, and the profound thrill of venturing where no one has gone before, of being the first human eyes to witness a hidden corner of the earth. But the risks are absolute and unforgiving. There is no margin for error, no room for panic. The allure of these hidden chambers is powerful, a siren's call to the curious and the brave, promising sights and experiences found nowhere else on the planet. To answer that call, cave divers train for years, mastering complex equipment where redundancy is paramount. Every critical system has a backup, and a backup for the backup. They spend countless hours steeling their nerves, conditioning their minds to face conditions that would overwhelm the unprepared. They learn to navigate through impossibly tight restrictions, spaces so small they must remove equipment and push it ahead of them, all while in total darkness. They must meticulously control their breathing to conserve precious air, adhering to strict gas management rules like the rule of thirds, 1/3 of the gas supply for the way in, 1/3 for the way out, and 1/3 reserved for emergencies. And they must maintain perfect buoyancy, hovering weightlessly to avoid disturbing the fine, clay-like silt that carpets the floor. A single misplaced fin kick can obliterate visibility in an instant, creating a blinding silt out that can take hours or even days to clear. Every dive is a calculated risk, a delicate dance with the elements, where preparation and discipline are the only partners. It is a journey into an environment that offers no second chances. It is a pursuit that demands not just physical skill and technical mastery, but an unwavering mental fortitude built on a foundation of humility and respect for the cave. The ability to solve multiple cascading problems in the dark, under pressure, while your life hangs in the balance, requires a calmness that is nothing short of extraordinary. She was one of the most fearless and accomplished cave divers in the world, a woman who felt more at home in the submerged underworld than on dry land. Agnes Milowka had dedicated her life to exploring these secret places, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible and mapping passages that had never seen the light of a human torch. Courage, skill, an insatiable passion for discovery. Intricate networks of Florida, deep, cold chasms of Europe, always returning with new knowledge and breathtaking stories. Her expertise was sought after for expeditions and film projects, including the blockbuster movie Sanctum. But on a summer day in 2011, deep beneath the rugged landscape of South Australia, Agnes Milowka embarked on a dive that would become her last. She entered a passage from which she would never return, leaving the exploration community in a state of shock and profound loss. This is the story of that final, tragic dive. The setting for this tragedy is a place known to divers around the globe simply as Tank Cave. Its name resonates within the tight-knit community of cave explorers, a name synonymous with both breathtaking beauty and extreme, unforgiving challenge. It is a place that demands absolute perfection, where the line between a successful exploration and a life-threatening incident is razor thin. Located near Mount Gambier in South Australia, it's not just a cave, but a sprawling subterranean maze. This region, known as the Limestone Coast, is a global mecca for cave divers. Its unique karst landscape, formed over millions of years, is riddled with water-filled passages, creating a network of some of the most spectacular and dangerous underwater environments on the planet. Tank Cave is considered the crown jewel of this system, a labyrinth that has drawn the world's best explorers for decades. It is considered one of the longest and most intricate underwater cave systems on Earth, with over 7 kilometers of mapped passages and countless more still waiting to be discovered. But that number, 7 kilometers, fails to capture the true complexity. This isn't a single linear tunnel. It's a three-dimensional web of interconnected conduits, some vast enough to drive a bus through, others so tight they require a diver to remove equipment to pass. Mapping this system is a painstaking process, a slow and methodical crawl into the unknown, with explorers laying down a permanent guideline, meticulously surveying every twist and turn to build a picture of this hidden world. Its name is deceptively simple, derived from the old stock watering tank that once covered its entrance. A humble, almost comically mundane origin for a place of such profound and dangerous beauty. For years, it was just a hole in a farmer's field, a convenient water source, its incredible secrets lying just meters below the surface, completely unknown. Below this unassuming entry point lies a complex network of tunnels, chambers, and claustrophobic restrictions. The descent begins through a narrow shaft, opening up into a world devoid of natural light. From here, the cave branches out in every direction, a disorienting maze for the unprepared. That presents a formidable challenge to even the most experienced divers. The geology of Tank Cave makes it uniquely treacherous. The limestone is soft and fragile. Passages can be incredibly restrictive, forcing divers into contorted positions, their movements limited, their gear scraping against the walls. Every maneuver requires flawless buoyancy control and a calm, focused mind. The floor and walls are coated in a thick layer of fine, dark silt, a sediment so light that the slightest disturbance, a misplaced fin kick, the exhalation of bubbles, can instantly turn crystal-clear water into an impenetrable black fog. This sediment, a mixture of clay and decomposed organic matter, has the consistency of talcum powder. It hangs suspended in the water column, refusing to settle, creating a condition of zero visibility that can persist for hours, even days. This phenomenon, known as a silt out, is one of a cave diver's greatest fears. It can cause complete disorientation, stripping away a diver's most crucial sense: sight. In an instant, the entire world vanishes. The powerful dive lights become useless, their beams swallowed by the swirling darkness. Panic can set in as the diver is plunged into a sensory deprivation nightmare, alone in the cold and the black, making it impossible to see gauges, equipment, or the guideline that serves as the only lifeline back to the surface, the world above. In a silt out, a diver must rely solely on tactile sense and unwavering discipline, their hands searching blindly for that thin nylon rope, the one and only connection to a known route out. Losing contact with the line is often a death sentence. For explorers like Agnes Milowka, Tank Cave was an irresistible puzzle. It wasn't the danger that drew her in, but the profound challenge and the promise of discovery. She possessed the rare combination of physical skill, mental fortitude, and an insatiable curiosity required to safely navigate such an environment. She understood the risks intimately and had dedicated her life to mastering the techniques needed to mitigate them. It was a place where a small, unexplored side passage could lead to a massive new section of the cave system, a breakthrough that would add another chapter to the story of this incredible place. This is the siren song of cave exploration, the chance to be the first human being to ever lay eyes on a passage, to push the boundaries of the known world, and to leave a permanent mark on the map for others to follow. On February 27, 2011, Agnes and a dive partner descended into the familiar darkness of Tank Cave. The dive plan was to explore a specific area, a section known for its tight passages and silty conditions. They were both highly experienced, equipped with state-of-the-art rebreathers, and following established protocols. The objective was clear: to survey a known line and potentially investigate promising leads for future exploration, pushing a little further into the unknown as she had done countless times before. The conditions were typical for the system: tight, silty, and demanding. Visibility was good, but the potential for a silt out was ever present. This was business as usual for Agnes, an environment where she was supremely comfortable, her movements precise and efficient, her mind calm and analytical. But something on this dive would go terribly wrong. A decision to enter a small offshoot tunnel, a passage that was not part of the original dive plan, would change everything. This deviation from the plan, a common practice in exploration when a promising lead appears, is a calculated risk. The explorer weighs the potential for discovery against the immediate environmental threats. A choice made in the spirit of exploration that defined her very being would set in motion a chain of events that would lead to a desperate, silent struggle deep within the earth. Inside this narrow restriction, far from the main guideline, the delicate balance she had mastered throughout her career was irrevocably broken. The fine silt, disturbed in the tight confines, would have quickly and completely erased all visibility. The very passion that drove her to explore the world's darkest corners would ultimately lead her into a passage with no exit. Trapped, disoriented, and with a finite supply of breathing gas, she was faced with the one scenario every cave diver trains for, but prays they never encounter. The cave that had given her so much purpose had become a trap, its silent ancient walls bearing witness to the final moments of one of the world's most gifted explorers. The morning of Sunday, February 27, 2011, dawned cool and clear over Mount Gambier. In this quiet corner of South Australia, the landscape, scarred by ancient volcanoes, hides a secret world beneath its surface. A labyrinth of limestone caves flooded with water of astonishing clarity. For the global cave diving community, this region is a pilgrimage site, and for those who gathered at the entrance to Tank Cave, it was a day for exploration. The mood was one of focused anticipation, a familiar blend of camaraderie and meticulous preparation that precedes any serious cave dive. Among them was Agnes Milowka, a diver whose name was synonymous with pushing the boundaries of underwater exploration. Agnes and her dive partner prepared their gear with the practiced efficiency of seasoned explorers. They were using state-of-the-art closed-circuit rebreathers, or CCRs. These are not your typical scuba tanks. A rebreather is a complex life support system that recycles a diver's exhaled breath. Instead of venting bubbles into the water, it directs the gas into a loop where a chemical scrubber removes the carbon dioxide. Oxygen sensors then analyze the remaining gas, and a computer injects a precise amount of oxygen to maintain a breathable mix. The benefits are transformative for cave exploration. Dives can last for many hours, far beyond the limits of conventional scuba, and critically, they produce almost no bubbles. In caves with ceilings coated in fine, volatile silt, exhaled bubbles can trigger a blinding underwater avalanche. For Agnes, the rebreather was an essential key, unlocking deeper and more remote passages. But this advanced technology demands an equally advanced level of training, discipline, and an intimate understanding of its mechanics. Their plan for the day was ambitious: to descend into Tank Cave and continue exploring a new section, pushing a line into the unknown. As they submerged, the familiar world vanished. The warmth of the sun, the sounds of the surface, the very air itself, all were left behind. They were replaced by the profound, enveloping quiet of the cave and the steady, rhythmic pulse of their own breathing, amplified within their rebreather loops. The water temperature dropped, a constant chill that their dry suits held at bay. Their world shrank to the piercing beams of their dive lights, cutting cones of white through the darkness. Immediately upon entering the overhead environment, they connected with the main guideline, a permanent nylon rope that serves as the cave's primary highway. In cave diving, the line is everything. It is the only guaranteed path back to the surface. Losing the line is the single most dangerous event that can occur. Divers maintain constant contact, either physically or by staying within arm's reach, following it with unwavering discipline. They followed this lifeline for a significant distance, their movements precise and controlled to conserve energy and gas. Their destination was a junction known as the Sea Run, a branch off the main, well-traveled route. This area was known to be a complex maze of smaller tunnels, a place where the cave's geology became more intricate and challenging. It was less traveled, a frontier within a known system. But their objective lay even deeper within this section. The specific target for the day's exploration was a small, unmapped side tunnel, a tight offshoot from a known passage that Agnes had previously identified. This was the very edge of the map. This passage was a major restriction, a section of cave so narrow that a diver cannot swim through with their gear mounted on their back. They must remove their tanks, push them ahead, and squeeze their body through the tightest sections. For many, such tight spots are terrifying dead ends, absolute barriers to exploration. But for Agnes, they were invitations. They were the gateways to Virgin Cave, places no human had ever seen. Her unique skill and slender build made her exceptionally adept at navigating these challenging spaces. The plan was carefully orchestrated, following established protocols. Agnes would be the push diver. She secured a thin, new exploration line from her reel to the permanent guideline, creating a new branch on the cave's map. This new line would be her only connection back to this point. Her partner would not follow her into the restriction. He would remain here, in the larger, safer passage, acting as a safety anchor. His role was to monitor the time, manage his own gas supply, and be ready to provide immediate support should Agnes return with a problem. With her rebreather unclipped and pushed ahead, Agnes began to negotiate the entrance. With her primary light probing the absolute darkness of the new passage, she carefully entered the tight opening, her body contorting to fit the shape of the rock. The reel in her hand paid out the thin white line behind her, a fragile thread connecting her to the known world. Inside, the environment changed instantly. Conditions were immediately more hazardous. This virgin tunnel was coated in a thick, fluffy, dark silt, fine sediment that had settled undisturbed for millennia. This is the cave diver's greatest foe. It has the consistency of talcum powder and hangs in the water with near-neutral buoyancy. The slightest touch can explode it into a blinding cloud. Agnes was a master of buoyancy and trim, moving with minimal contact. But in such a confined space, some disturbance is almost inevitable. A fin kick too close to the floor, an elbow brushing a wall, even the gentle movement of water displaced by her body. Each tiny contact added a small puff of sediment to the water. As she progressed deeper into the restriction, the cumulative effect of these minor disturbances began to grow. Then, it happened. What started as a minor haze in her wake quickly became a thick, soupy fog, a complete and total silt out. Visibility dropped from several meters to absolute zero in a matter of seconds. Her powerful dive light, once a tool for revealing the cave's beauty, was now useless, its beam scattering back at her as if hitting a solid wall. She was plunged into a tactile, featureless blackness, more absolute than any night on the surface. Her extensive training would have kicked in instantly. Stop, breathe, think, act. The procedure is to halt all movement to avoid worsening the silt out, remain calm, and find the guideline. But while attempting to reverse her path in total darkness, pushing her equipment back through the tight passage, Agnes appears to have lost contact with her guideline. Perhaps the line, which has some natural slack, was pushed into a crevice, or she became disoriented while maneuvering. The exact moment is unknown, but the consequence was catastrophic. Once separated from the guideline, Agnes was truly lost. In the featureless, tactile darkness of a complete silt-out, every direction feels the same. There is no up or down, no left or right. The only sensory input is the cold, confining rock and the thick, soupy water. To be lost in a cave is terrifying. To be lost in a silted-out restriction is one of the most dire situations a diver can face. The psychological pressure in such a situation is immense. The instinct to struggle, to swim frantically in search of the line, is overwhelming but fatal. It only worsens the silt out and consumes precious gas. The sound of one's own breathing, the gentle hiss of the rebreather, becomes a stark, ticking clock, a reminder of a finite resource in a place where time is the most valuable commodity. Outside, her partner watched as the entrance to the restriction began to bleed a thick cloud of silt. He waited, knowing the protocol. But as the minutes ticked by, far longer than the agreed-upon time, concern turned to dread. Following one of the most rigid safety rules in cave diving, that a second diver should never enter a zero-visibility restriction to attempt a rescue, as it would likely trap them both, he made the agonizing but correct decision to surface and raise the alarm. Meanwhile, trapped inside the passage, Agnes was engaged in a desperate, silent battle for survival. It is believed she attempted to switch to her emergency bailout gas supply, a standard procedure. But performing complex tasks in a tight space, under extreme stress, and in total blackness, is nearly impossible. The window of opportunity for self-rescue, finding the line before disorientation and gas consumption became critical, was closing with every passing second, with every breath. The very walls of the cave she loved to explore, the unknown places she sought with such passion, had become her prison. In the silent, cold depths of Tank Cave, surrounded by the ancient, unforgiving rock, Agnes Milowka had passed the point of no return. On the surface, the initial calm of the day began to fray. When Agnes's dive partner emerged from the water alone, a feeling of deep unease settled over the small group. The group waited, their eyes fixed on the placid surface of the water, praying for the sight of bubbles. As the minutes ticked by, hope began to fade. The call for assistance was made. The cave diving community in Mount Gambier is small, tight-knit, and exceptionally well organized for exactly these kinds of emergencies. The grim reality set in. Given the time that had elapsed, the chances of finding Agnes alive were virtually zero. The mission's objective shifted to bringing her home. The recovery operation began as evening fell. The first team of highly experienced search divers descended into Tank Cave. The mission now entered its most dangerous phase. Visibility was non-existent. The search was conducted entirely by feel. After a tense and difficult search, the diver's hand made contact. It was not the guideline he found, but Agnes. The recovery diver confirmed the discovery and began the delicate and emotionally wrenching process of bringing her back. The news of the discovery sent a shockwave through the global diving community. Agnes Milowka, the vibrant, fearless, and seemingly invincible explorer, was gone. As the initial grief subsided, it was replaced by a collective determination to ensure her legacy would be one of inspiration, not just caution. Agnes was more than just an adventurer. She was a pioneer whose life's work, captured in maps, films, and writings, became a lasting testament to her spirit. The detailed and accurate maps she created remain in use, guiding explorers safely through passages she was the first to chart. She was a role model, particularly for a new generation of female explorers, proving that courage, skill, and determination know no gender. Agnes Milowka lived for discovery, and while her final dive ended in tragedy, her courage continues to fuel the ambitions of those who follow in her wake. To formally honor her immense contributions, the Agnes Milowka Memorial Environmental Science Award was established. This prestigious grant seeks to keep her spirit of discovery alive by supporting meaningful research projects related to the underwater environment. It empowers the next generation of explorers and scientists to undertake ambitious projects, fostering new discoveries in her name. Her story has become a cornerstone of modern diving lore, a solemn, cautionary tale that has contributed to making a dangerous pursuit safer for all who follow. The story of Agnes Milowka is a powerful and poignant narrative that encapsulates the very essence of exploration. It underscores the dual truth that has always defined humanity's greatest adventures: that the pursuit of discovery often walks hand in hand with immense risk. It is a narrative that balances the thrill of discovery with the weight of consequence, leaving us with a profound respect for both the explorers and the formidable environments they dare to enter. In the silent depths of Tank Cave, her spirit remains, a reminder that the pursuit of discovery often walks hand in hand with danger.